That's exactly where I want to start tonight in our discussion because when we go to the higher realms, and I'll be taking you there tonight, you do see that there are specific spirit guides that are kind of like counselors. They're the ones who approved your life plan this time and every time. And then there's the Council of Elder Souls that never come to Earth, but they are available to give us guidance. They have a particular kind of energy. There's the God source, of course, that we can tap into. But the most, in my experience, the most accessible and the most loving, instantly loving and nurturing help that we can get here in the earth realm is from the angelic realm. And for a long time, I paid no attention to angels. I grew up Catholic, and Mother Mary was my person. That was the really good thing about being Catholic. Is that they honored the Divine Mother, although they called her the Virgin Mary. And you know that in the original translation of the word virgin, it means blessed soul. So the blessed soul of the Divine Madonna was my person growing up. But of course, the Catholics even acknowledge that Mary is the Queen of Angels. And so, as I evolved in my spiritual journey, pursuing many different spiritual paths, becoming a unity minister, I studied in Buddhist ashrams, Hindu ashrams. I have embraced every spiritual path, learning what is God, who is God, why am I here? Why are we all here? Why do we suffer? And my answers to that come from my own cellular experiences of lifting out of the body, traveling in the divine realms, having dream visions, just having departed loved ones come back and explain things to me. I lost my husband when I was 29. He died of cancer, and then my best girlfriend, Chrissy, and they have been my lifelong helpers where they constantly show up to give me guidance and explain how things work. And they sort of give it to me a little piece at a time, what I'm ready for, what is the piece of lesson that I'm now ready to learn. It was really only as I approached my 70s and entered my 70s that this whole new frequency of learning started being downloaded to me. And it was really about how the angelic realm is the origin of my soul and probably many of you as well. And that it explains so much about why we came in on an accelerated growth journey here. Might have had many losses. I know that many of you have lost children or not lost them. They have transitioned into the spirit world, and you've walked the journey of a broken heart, and you still do. But you also know that your child, your beloved child, is an angel with you all the time and accessible to you. So, how do the angels mix in all of that? They are the loving beings, the first responders who devote their time and energy to comforting, helping, uplifting, and inspiring humans in this dense, heavy earth realm that we call human life. And when you talk to your guide, even, the guide is a little more distant, a little more, because every day I get the beauty of taking a client into the divine realms and saying, ask your guide how you're doing. And it's so funny because we'll talk before we go there, and the client will say, well, here's what I think my lesson is in all of this, and here's how I think I'm doing. And then we go into the divine and we ask their guide, and their guide will have a different answer about it all. But then when we ask the angels to help us, it's just this instant showering of love and healing and a frequency shift. So I'm going to show you really quickly and just follow along. I'm just going to mute everyone right now too, just to make sure there's no background noise. This is how easy it is. And from now through the next 7 weeks, You promise me that whenever you're feeling upset, afraid, or the seven stones that we're going to talk about tonight, grieving, lacking purpose, disappointment in others, disappointment in self, relationship turmoil, health challenge, spiritual crisis, or all of those at once, your first response will be take a breath, close your eyes. Ah, beautiful angels, help me, heal me, lift me up, lift me above this pain. Take another breath. Oh my gosh, I actually feel that vibrational shift when I ask for that. I feel the presence of love around me. And one of the things that humans do, including me, is when we're down here, we get our focus down on the earthly details because we have to accomplish things. We have to work. We have to make food. We have to do the laundry. Um, that focus on the details of the physical life drains our energy because we are divine beings. Every one of you is a spirit at your core, a beautiful being, a being of golden light. You may be angelic realm origin souls like me, and you've dropped into this physical world on purpose to evolve your soul and to help evolve those around you. But this is not a comfortable place, this earth realm. It's very heavy, dense energy here, and it's harder to feel the presence of the higher beings. But there's a law to it all. And the spiritual law says the minute I lift my focus and I use the breath, and I say, please lift me up, bring me to a higher frequency of understanding, of love, of healing. That prayer is the prayer that is instantly, always answered. Please remember this. We all hit dark nights of the soul, and we all walk through challenges. It's how we evolve here on earth. Fortunately or unfortunately, it's how it is. And yet, the minute we make that simple call and ask for it with an open heart, that's part of it. Our heart has to be a little bit open. I mean, just pretend that you're just talking to a baby, a newborn baby. Take a breath. Feel how your heart just opens with that image, that picture of a newborn baby. That's the same energy of a soul in the higher realms because newborn babies are still carrying that frequency. That's why we love to be around them. We just feel that heavenly lifting up that comes from seeing a newborn baby. So think of that when you're calling out to the angels and asking for help. And the other thing is remember, the angel's purpose is not to correct you or counsel you or guide you. It is simply to remove the stone and that's in the way and free you to lift up to a higher frequency. So this download that I got, there's a verse in Matthew. I'm just going to read it to you. And I'm a unity minister, but I'm a complete universal unity minister, meaning I believe all spiritual paths lead to God. So do not think that I'm only talking about the Christian path here. It's all paths. But in Matthew 28, there's this verse that says, after the Sabbath, as the first day of the week was dawning, and this is after the crucifixion, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to see the tomb. And suddenly there was a great earthquake. That's so cool. Think about that. A trembling of frequency. For an angel of the Lord descended from heaven, came and rolled back the stone. His appearance was like lightning, light, and his clothing white as snow, golden light. For fear of him, the guards shook. The guards. But the angel said to the women, do not be afraid. I know that you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He is not here, for he has been raised. Think about that in the metaphysical sense, you guys. That is angels comforting grieving women and saying, don't worry. They're not dead. They're not in that tomb. They're not in that grave. They are raised into the divine. So I say that to all.